Hi guys, I'm back. Sorry I had to take last week off. I just had too much. I'll get my microphone down here so you can hear me. I just had so much to get done last week. There's no way I could get a class together, but I think you're going to like this one. It was worth the wait. I had fun making these. This is another bundle I almost didn't get. This is the Frosted Forest bundle, but I always have loved the bundles that we have that have decorative masks to them, and that's what these have. So I'm going to be showing you three different ways, or three different kinds of trees, that is, that you can make. But there's some more that you can make too that I'm not going to be able to cover since I'm only making 3 cards tonight. Oh, hi, Romaine. Glad you could make it from Pennsylvania. Excuse me. Hi, Marva from northeastern New York. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Crystal and Anita. Oh, hi, Christy. You have a couple of grands over, but plan to watch. Oh, I'll have fun with those grands. You can definitely, you have my permission to go play. You can't miss those moments. And oh, hi, Tanya from Central Illinois. Glad you're here too. Well, we'll wait a little bit longer. We've got a few people coming on. It always takes a few minutes for people to realize that we're live. Oh, and I've got a couple people already done the hashtag door prize. If you've seen that, I think they're both on YouTube right now, but I will tell you about that here in just a minute. I guess I'll wait about another minute. We've only got a few people on. Usually, like I said, it always takes a little while for people to get notified that I'm on live. Trying to think if there's anything I need to tell you. I already told you that. Nope, I think we're good. I do want to thank all of you that ordered yesterday during the free shipping. I loved free shipping time, saves a lot of money. I'm going to be using those. Oh, have you seen those adhesive back peppermints? think that's the full name, but they're in the little mini. Well, those became available early for free shipping day. I was so excited. I hurried up and got them because they sold out pretty quick the first time. Hurried up and got them from my club. I'm so glad I did because I just checked and they're sold out again. They are really, really cute embellishments, so I understand why they are, but they'll be back again middle October. Hopefully they'll get them early again because it did get here. This last shipment came early, but they sold out in a day. Free shipping, I'm sure a lot of people took advantage of that. Okay, oops, this didn't scroll again. Let me see some new people here. Oh, hi, Candy. Glad you could make it, and Becky. Let's see, who else do I need? Oh, hi, Vicky from Central Michigan. I think that's what it says. I've got that wonderful glare on my when I get down near the bottom of the list. Okay. Well, we've got a few more people on here, so I think we'll get started. Let's see here. Always get started with door prizes, so let's get that done first. I'm going to go ahead and switch screens here. And I do want to hopefully Peggy's watching. Peggy watches. Sometimes she can't watch live. She usually watches the replay. But Peggy, you won these during the last live, which was 2 weeks ago. And I do not have your address. I looked and I couldn't find it anywhere. So if you could message me, if you're watching on Facebook, message me on my page. Or if you're watching on YouTube, just look down the video description and click that contact me link and get your mailing address to me. And I'll get these mailed out to you right away. They're the Adhesive-Backed Pearl Trio. But you've watched for quite a while and I want to make sure you got that. Okay, so, oh, hi, Patty. Glad you could make it. And now I've got, these were the embellishments I offered for everybody that watched the live and the replay 2 weeks ago. So I've got everybody's names in my wheel, and I'll just do that here real quick. But before we go ahead and draw for this, like I said, some of you have already done it. Let me show exactly how you need to type this in. You need to do hashtag door prize. If I can find, there we go. Sometimes it's hard to find my little buttons. There's the host code for this week. As you probably, if you've placed orders in the last couple of weeks, this is a brand new host code, so make sure you use that. Oh, wait a minute, that's hashtag. I meant to do this one. I'm getting ahead of myself. There we go. Now we're back to the door prize. I'll go over that later. But we've got the hashtag door prize. Make sure you type it in exactly the way you see it for the door prize. I'll show you here in a minute. But that's what all those hashtag door prizes are. So you can go ahead and start typing those in. If you live in the United States, you do have to live in the United States to be part of my door prize, because this is Stampin' Up product, and per Stampin' Up rules, I can only mail these, give these away to people in the U.S. So go ahead, and if you want to be in the drawing, do that hashtag door prize. That way I know you want to be in, because some people don't want to, and that is totally fine. That's why I do this little option. So that way I know you definitely want to get in on it. So these are the basic gray and smoky slate pearls. So I'm going to bring up the wheel. This is everybody that did the hashtag door prize, like I said, in the last live. So let's see who won. I need to get my Post-it note out here. Okay, let's go ahead and get going here. Who's going to win? I always have to wait till the very last minute because I think it's going to stop on a name and then it goes to the next one. Ooh, Debbie, congratulations. I do have your address. This is one of my local ladies. Used to be on my team too. Okay, Debbie, I will get those mailed out to you. So congratulations. It's been a long time, so I'm not sure if you've won before. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and go here. And I'll put that over here to the side. So congratulations, Debbie. Okay, now I'll go over the new door prizes and be able to explain a little better for those of you that are new. It seems like every time I do a live, I get some new people. And if you are new, let me know. I love all of my regulars. I love to see all these names that I know. It's a lot of fun to see you guys every week. I know I'm not technically seeing you, but I feel like I am. I always like getting together with you guys. Now, if you're new, let me know because I love to hear from you. Okay, so like this says, live in the U.S. If you live in the USA and want to be part of the door prize, do that hashtag door prize. The reason you have to type it in exactly the way it's written during the live is because the program that I have is what picks from all the comments. It'll pick all the comments that have the hashtag door prize. It has to be spelled just right to be able to get in on the drawing. Oh, hi, Karen. Glad you could make it again. So this week, everybody that's watching the live and the replay, these were actually the embellishments from the last class. So if you got the class and you end up winning, you'll have 2 packs. Didn't even think about that. Usually I get somebody that didn't order, so that we should be good. But these are the adhesive-backed swirl dots. They work great with that. Here, let me go ahead and stop that ticker for just a minute. There we can see a little better. Perfect for the latte bundle that's in the online exclusives. It's really good with that More Than Autumn bundle that I used in the last class. But it's also really good for just fall projects. Up here, you can't see them, but they're pecan pie ones up here at the top. I don't want to open this up because this is a brand new one, and I want to be able to give a brand new one to whoever wins. So this is everybody that does the hashtag door prize here during the live, and I'll announce that lives in the United States, and I will do the drawing here at the end of the live. So make sure you stay till the end so you can see if you won or not. And then this is for everybody that does the hashtag door prize during the live and during the replay, because I know a lot of people can't make it tonight. There are a lot of different lives on Thursday nights, plus people are working and things like that, different time zones, all that fun stuff. But this is really good. These are good, I said, for fall. These are good for winter type projects. These are the Faceted Gems Trio Pack. Can't remember all the colors, but they're really pretty. It's a little hard to tell. That's more of a grayish blue. Boy, I cannot remember the color of that one. I want to say smoky slate or something like that. White and maybe Lost Lagoon. I'm not positive. I'll have to look that up. But they don't put the colors on here. But I really like these a lot. So that's for everybody that does the hashtag door prize during the live and during the replay. And I'll announce the winner for this in next week's live using that wheel that I just used a minute ago. So that's for everybody that watches the live and the replay with hashtag door prize. And this is the one that's for everybody that's watching live that does hashtag door prize. And I'll announce the winner for this here at the end of the video. Okay. Felt like I thought of something else I wanted to tell you while I was doing that. Now I can't remember again. Getting older is, here it was. I just looked down and saw it. I got another actually I got 2 nice cards this week. This one is one that Karen, Kozleski, my mouth is not working again. It seems like I have trouble with my tongue. I'm fine all day, but I don't talk much during the day because I work here at home by myself. So I guess I need to talk to people more often. But I love this card. Isn't it so pretty? I really, really like it. I can't remember the name of this paper, but it's one's got the die cuts. But I just had to show you that one. I think it is so pretty. Thanks, Karen. I really appreciate you getting that card. And this one was just a friend card. My friend Robin Lemon that's on here a lot. I don't think she's come on yet. But I just had to show this, and I won't embarrass her since she's not here. But I love this card. It is so pretty. I just had to show that one to you. I'm not going to show the inside because she had a nice message there for me. But she makes really pretty cards. I just had to show you that one. That is that zinnia set that's in the online exclusives. I love the colors that she used on that flower. Okay. Now, I do want to show you too. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the class, and then I'll show you the paper. I'm going to be using the new DSP that's called Sweet Days of Autumn. It's in that new scrapbooking brochure that came out. And I don't think I have a link to that down in the video description. I'll get that added. Speaking of links, I always want to go over this real quick. Here, let's go to me so you don't just see my hands. There we go. With the links. If you're watching on Facebook, any links that I bring up, look at the top of my Create with Christy page, and you'll see a Learn More button. Click on that, and all the links will pop up there. The one that pertains to the class, click on the one that says Get Free Stuff When You Order From Me. Will give you all the information for the class. If you're watching after September 25th, that link will tell you what I'm offering for free then. For everybody that's watching on YouTube, just look down in the video description below the video, and all the links are down there for you. Okay, so got that out of the way. I want to make sure you knew how all this works. I usually bring it up a little bit during the video in case you come on late. Oh, Karen, yeah, I love that card. It's gorgeous. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I'm seeing other people say they like the card. Oh, yeah, Anita says, Vicki, you need to make sure, Brubaker, make sure that you type that in right. You've got, let's see, you got an S and it needs to have a Z for prize. And you don't want any spaces. So Connie, I just saw yours pop up and you've got a space between door and prize. Let me pop this up again. You want to put it in just like that. All small letters, no space, and prizes with the Z. So you need to make sure you get typed in just right. I'm not a stickler on it, but the program that picks the winner is. So that's why I'm letting you know that. But like I said, if you're watching the replay, doesn't matter. I'm the one that puts the names in the wheel, so I'll know what you mean. But you need to make sure you type it in just right to get in the drawing for tonight. Okay. So, got the links all done. Now we'll go back to my hands because I've got some things to show you. The way my classes work, I want to let the people that usually don't watch know. If you place a $40 order using this host code, go ahead and put the ticker back up. If you place a $40 order using that host code, and then all the number, the $40 is before shipping and tax. So $40 you get with the host code, you'll get the card kits. Where did I put those? Oh, there. You'll get all three card kits for all three cards, enough to make 2 of each of the cards I'm going to make here tonight. And if you bump it up to a $50 order using that host code, you'll also get a full pack of the Adhesive-Backed Textured Dots. These are the embellishments I'm using on all the cards. Now, the embellishments are not included in the card kit, so if you don't get up to that $50 before shipping and tax with the host code, you can use any embellishments you have on hand, and if you already have these, then you can definitely use the ones you've got. But these are not included with the base card kits. So the $40 order with the host code before shipping and tax, you get the card kits to make 2 each of the cards tonight. And I do the embossing and any die cutting that needs to be done with dies that are not part of the bundle. And then that I'm featuring, and that's going to be the Frosted Forest. And I'll show you that here in just a minute. Bump it up to the $50 order with the host code, and you'll get the textured dots. Now, if you place a $150 order before shipping and tax, do not use my host code. You'll still get all of this. Plus, you'll get Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up. I don't want you to miss out on that. Now, the reason I have you do the host code is I've had people ask. Using the host code, I get Stampin' Rewards from all the orders that use that host code. Then I use those Stampin' Rewards to get all these free things for you. Not all of them. Some of them I'm still out of my pocket. But I get all the embellishments definitely free with the Stampin' Rewards I get. So that makes it so I can give these away. I couldn't afford to do it otherwise. So that's why I have you use the host code. So I'm going to put this over to the side. Oh, you're welcome, Vicki. I didn't want you to miss out on being on that door prize. And whoever brought that up, because somebody else had actually brought that up in the comments. They were the ones that made me notice that was wrong. Okay. I'm going to put these over here. It's always so hard to find places for everything so I can get to them. Okay. Now I want to show you the bundle. This bundle has more to it. Oh, hold on a minute. I just popped one of the dies off. Oh. I was trying to reach for them and still stay close to the microphone, and it didn't work. Okay, there we go, because I definitely need that die. But here are the dies. I'm going to take this down now so we can see a little more. But it doesn't just have dies. It also has, I don't need this thing here. It also has decorative masks and a stamp set. So you get all of this together in the bundle. The bundle itself is $64.75, and that's 10% less than buying each of these separately. If you did want to buy them separately, the stamp set's $21. The die set is $36, and just the decorative masks are $15. And these are a little different from our past decorative masks because we can color in actually all 3 of these trees right here. So there are 3 that will color in this big tree. Get that over here, this big tree here. And then both sizes of the evergreens are on these 3. So I'll be using all of these decorative masks except for the little tree. I am going to be using them. So this is used the same way as this one. I'm just going to be using this side. So you'll get to learn how to use those. They're pretty easy to use. I love the masks. I love the dies. So I'll do the regular tree and the big pine tree with the decorative masks. And then I'm going to make a tree with this die here. And this one, this is going to be the last one. This one might be my favorite card of the bunch. So that's the reason I'm keeping it for last. So you'll get to see how to do that. Okay, but I love this bundle. It is so cool. And I can't remember if I told you it's part of the online exclusive. So you won't find this in a catalog, but if you do the online exclusives, you'll find them. It's called Frosted Forest. Okay. I think I'm ready to start making some cards. So let's get card number 1 out. Now, 2 of these are definitely fall color cards. The middle one is a masculine card. And it can be used for any occasion you want to. Oh, this is what I knew I was forgetting something. Hold on a second. I wanted to show you this paper. There we go. So this paper is a little different from our past papers because there are only 3 double-sided designs and you get 4 of each. Usually it's 6 and 2 of each. But this is a really cute paper. This is part of the scrapbooking brochure because now Stampin' Up! Has a scrapbooking line, which I love. This paper is also part of the, I can't remember the name of it, but the autumn kit. But the paper is called Sweet Days of Autumn, and you can just get the paper if you want that. But there's a close-up of all the cute little animals on that. I think those are adorable. And here's the other side to it. It's got some really neat trees. It is a 12 by 12 pack. I can't remember if I said that. You can probably tell by looking at it. Now, this is one of the ones I'm using. And then we've got this side. And this side would work on my card too. I might even do the card here tonight with this side and then show you my original so you can see what it looks like with both. And then you can decide if you want to make these later, which one you want to use. Then there's this one. Bring it a little closer just so you can see the design a little better. And this side here. So it's a really nice fall set of paper. I love it. And I love that there are 4 of each design. That's perfect for scrapbooking because you end up using a little more when you scrapbook, but it's also good if you're going to make multiples of cards, which is what I'm going to be doing for my card kits. So it worked out perfect. Okay. Yeah, isn't that paper cute, Deb? I really like it. I was coming back and looking at your comments. And I will say this, it is hard a lot of times to be able, especially when we do the hashtag door prize. I miss a bunch of comments. I will try my best because sometimes I don't get it done. Most of the time I go and check all your comments and read them. And I'm going to make sure I do that. I hate not to because you guys are taking the time to comment and I love to hear from you. So if I miss it during the video, I will come back and look at them after the video, hopefully tomorrow. That's usually what I do is do it the day after. And I'll reply back directly underneath your comment on Facebook. On YouTube, right now you're commenting on the live chat. Well, that closes down after the live's over. So I'll have to comment if you have a question underneath and the regular comments underneath the video during the replay. And the replays on both Facebook and YouTube are available to watch anytime you want to once the live's over. So if you miss anything, you can watch the replay. Okay. So I've shown you the paper. Now it's time to start making card number 1. So I've got pecan pie, 5.5 by 8.5. Get those corners lined up to make that card base. I always use my bone folder. You don't have to, but I can never get a nice sharp crease without it. With my hands, sometimes I can with my fingernail, but it's a lot easier with the bone folder. Then I've got this piece here. I want to just show it to you. Isn't that pretty? You've seen me use this before. This is my go-to one. It's called Leaf Fall. This is what the folder looks like. I don't know if you can tell, it's just kind of a swoosh of leaves. So it isn't covered with leaves, just this swoosh right across here. Use this a ton during the fall. I love it. So that will be embossed for you if you get the card kits free with your order. So it's a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of petal pink. All the colors I'm using are in that Sweet Days of Autumn DSP that I just showed you. Okay. Oh, hi, Myra. Oh, yeah. Hi, Myra from Iowa. Oh, you're fine. This is the first card, so you're good. But you can watch the other stuff at the beginning, so you can see what door prize we got. So make sure you do your hashtag door prize so you get in on the door prize at the end. So I think I'm going to do some stamping here. This was done. Where did I put those dies? Oh, there they are. These are the deckled rectangles dies. And I used the 4th one. So number 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the one. I die cut this one out. And I die cut it out of a 2.5 by 4 inch piece of basic white. So that one, the only thing I need to stamp, I'm going to go ahead. This is a photopolymer stamp set. So I definitely need to get that Stampin' Pierce mat out. The only thing I need to stamp directly on here is the greeting, and I'm going to use the one that says birthday wishes for a day as great as you are. I'm going to use Early Espresso. Yeah, Romaine, it is a nice embossing folder to have. It is one of my favorites. I use it the most during the fall, but you could definitely use it throughout the year with any kind of tree or any project, nature type project you're working on. Yeah, Michelle, it is a pretty folder. I love it. So I'm going to put this down in the bottom right corner. I always hold my stamp down a few seconds and then lift it up because that helps that ink soak into that paper and you get a better image. Now, got that done. I'll get this out of the way because I'm not quite ready for that again. I'm going to get, there are 2 pieces of basic white. The bigger one is for the inside of the card. So I'm going to put that to the side for right now. This is the one I'm going to stamp the tree and the birds on. So here's the big tree stamp. I'm going to ink it up with Early Espresso. Oh, Romaine, you're glad I'm using it tonight? Good. I'm going to ink this up really good with that Early Espresso. Just stamp this near the center. Doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to die cut it out. Hold that down. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the bird stamp, bring my Early Espresso back in. And I need 2 of them, so I'll just put one on each side because I'll be die cutting those out. And I'm going to be using, well, actually, since I've got the bird out, let's put this to the side. This is, I'll show you how to use those masks on this here next. But this is that 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece for the inside. I'm going to put a bird here and a bird here, maybe one kind of flying up. And then I thought I'd make a flock of them leaving up here. There we go. So I just thought do that on the inside. Now, one thing, I didn't like them just being white, but I didn't really want to color them in. And I, like I said, I just stamped an Early Espresso, and that is a water-based ink. So I can take our blender pens, which is water-based, and I just kind of pick up some of the Early Espresso ink. It makes that stamped image, the ink bleed a little bit. And then I just get a light version of the Early Espresso. If I picked up ink from my ink pad, it would be a little too dark. You wouldn't be able to see the detail. So this just adds a little bit of color to all of those birds. And I didn't want them to just be white. I thought this made it pop a little bit better. So what I did, I kind of start with the wings first because there are a few more lines in there, and then I kind of go with the body. You can see how that kind of darkened them up a little bit. And I'm going to do that with these also while I've got this out. Tell you what, I will just do this one, and then you can kind of tell the difference. You see how this one's a little darker, and that's the one that's not colored in yet. So if you want to keep them white, you don't need to do this step. There we go. Okay, and then you just brush it off, make sure the ink is clear again. The tip may not look clear, but just as long as it's clear on your paper, then you're good. All right, now that is all the stamping. Now it's time to get those decorative masks out. And oh, hi, Melinda from West Virginia. Glad you made it. Oh, good, Crystal. I'm glad that tip helped. Okay, now get this out of the way. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on here. If you don't have the glass mat, you could also use the silicone mat or just use some scrap paper. I'm going to put this down. I know that adhesive is going to come back up again. Just to keep it straight. It doesn't really have to be straight, but I'm going to use the grid because it just kind of helps me when it's straight. And push that down a little bit. Now I need to grab the masks. Over at the side, I'm going to get the first 3. And the way these are marked up here in the corner, 1, 2, I don't think you can see it, but this is 1, 2, and 3. The one for the evergreen trees, they say ABC. So that kind of helps you to know. I mean, you can tell by looking at them, but they did that just in case so you understood. Those don't work. All 6 don't work together. You need these 3 for this one. So I'm going to use number 1 first. And let me grab my Sharpie. Because you see this little V up here cut out? That helps with getting these layered just right. Oh, hi, Cindy. watching from North Dakota. I'm glad you could make it again tonight. And hi, Diane from Maine. Glad you're here. I don't think I've seen your name before. Oh, hi, Monica. You have questions regarding cardstock. The cardstock you are using for the base of the card, does it have a specific weight? I need to look that up. That we used to have thick, very vanilla, and we don't have that anymore. So no, wait a minute. Sorry about that. This is our colored paper. I'm thinking of the last card. I'm trying to think. I want to say it's 80-pound cardstock. I think that's what it is, but I need to look this up. Ours is a little thicker than like the stuff you could get at Michael's and things like that, because that's how I used to get my cardstock before Stampin' Up over 22, 23 years ago. Been a demo over 21, but I started buying this before I became a demo. It is a thicker cardstock. I need to look that up. I'm thinking it's 80-pound, but what I'll do, I will post that. Let me think here. I've already written this post. I will look that up and put that in the post, and there will be a link to that on Saturday because that's when that post comes up. I do believe it's 80-pound. Okay. Make sure I didn't miss any other questions. Oh, thanks, Cindy, for sharing. I appreciate that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, you can tell that this is just for the trunk of the tree. You can get this all lined up. Make sure I've got it right where I want it. I need to move a little bit because I'm trying to stay with the microphone. Here, let's move the microphone. There we go. That makes more sense. You guys don't see all the technical stuff. I've got to make sure the camera's out of the way so I can see in the microphone. There we go. That looks pretty good. I'm going to take the lid off of here, and I'm going to make a little mark. So this is why I was saying make sure you have at least scrap paper underneath there, because you could also write on it. But this glass mat, I can wipe this off. So can't get that on with one hand, so let's fix that. Looks like it's still in place. I'll probably have to move it around a little bit. I'm going to grab, oh no, I'm using pecan pie. That's right. Where did I put, oh, it's underneath here. I don't know why I put it underneath my tablet. Couldn't see it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, isn't this bundle wonderful, Cindy? I love it too. Oh, hi, Vicki from Arizona. Glad you could be here. I'm going to get my pecan pie on here. Get this lined up again. So I'm going to look at the image, but I'm also going to make sure I've got that lined up with that triangle I just made up here on the glass, because that way I know the other one other masks will line up. You know what? I don't think I did that V quite right. I'm going to color this in a little bit more right here because I can tell that V. There we go. And I'm just going to go over it. Now, if you're nervous about this moving, especially on this glass mat, it is kind of moving a little bit. You can put some tape on here, like the Post-it tape that I use a lot, and that'll hold it in place for you. But there we go. That is all colored in. This I will just run under my faucet in my bathroom to get all the ink off, and it comes off real quick and easy. And then I just pat it dry with a paper towel. Don't brush it. This one wouldn't hurt so bad, but or you won't hurt it so bad. But see all these little bitty pieces right here? Put my hand there. Those are really easy to bend too much, and it kind of messes things up. So I pat it dry after I rinse it off. Don't scrub it because you do not want to bend these. So I'll put this over to the side. I won't be using that anymore tonight. This one is number 2. First off, I'm going to hurry up and close this again. So I am going to need this again. I don't want to lose it. So I need, what am I doing? Oh yeah, old olive. So I'll grab my old olive and my blending brush. Get this all ready. Oh, hi, Lynn. I'm glad you could make it. I knew you were wanting to. From northern New Jersey. Yeah, aren't these stencils great, Vicki? I love our stencils. They are so much fun, too. Okay, get that ink pad out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. I've got the mark I made here. So I'm making sure that looks lined up and this looks lined up. I do look both, because sometimes this might look like it's lined up and it isn't down here. Just make sure they're both lined up. I'm going to hold that down really close, get my old olive, and I'm going to go, oh, not old olive. I knew that didn't sound right. I'm glad I looked up I'm using Old Olive on the next card. I almost goofed. I'm going to use pumpkin pie because I want to make this look like a fall card. So this tree's already changed its leaves. I'll make sure it's still lined up. Looks pretty good. I'm going to go over here, get all of this. And I like having the different shades. So don't worry about this all being perfect. You just keep putting ink on it till it looks dark enough to you. And I'm fine with those highlights because it makes it look like I have highlights on my tree. Okay, so that is done. Isn't that pretty? I could have left it just like that, but I'm going to add some more color. And the neat thing with this one, since I'm making a fall card, I don't want snow on my leaves. But with this one, if I made this like a regular, like a green tree or whatever tree I want, I mean, there could be snow on a fall tree. It snowed here in Indiana at the beginning of November and we still had leaves on the tree. But this could also be used maybe to use our embossing paste or something like that and add it looks like little snow piles on the tree, which is fun. Let's see, Michelle. But you can respond in comments later. How do you color code your blending brushes? Do you have one for each color group? Okay, I'm trying to get one for every color just because it's easier for me that way when I do all my videos and stuff. But you can, if you're limited, if you can't buy a bunch at the beginning, what I did, I bought maybe like 2 packs. You can rinse these out with water and the ink comes out really quick. I can't get over how quick the ink comes out. Let them air dry. I do kind of take a paper towel and squeeze them, and then you can use other ink. But I have to start labeling these. I could just tell that this one was pecan pie, but it's going to help me out because I'm getting more and more. So I think I'll just grab, like those return address labels. I think I'll probably put them on the handle. Maybe even, well, no, I'll probably do it on the handle that way and on the front of the handle. That way I can see, because this is usually what's facing me. So that's what I will be doing once I get all the colors. And I've also heard of other ones, they'll have a brown one. So all the light brown colors we've got, they'll use just the one blending brush. But I'm always worried it's not going to look like the exact color I want. So I suggest cleaning it out with water and using it. But if you're going to use it right away, if you can't wait for it to air dry, because it doesn't take that long for it to air dry, then you can just, if it's brown and you're using a little bit of a darker brown, you can use the same blending brush. But that's what I do. I'm definitely going to put some labels on here because I have to admit today when I was getting them out, I'm like, okay, is that Old Olive or Mossy Meadow? Actually, I could tell the difference with those because Mossy Meadow is a lot darker than Old Olive. But yeah, I am collecting enough. I'm almost there to where I have enough for each color. It just makes it a little easier because then you've got ink in here and you don't have to pick up as much ink from your ink pad when you're getting ready to use it again because it's still going to be in there. I am not using the pecan pie right now, though. So let me get that out of the way. I'm going to grab my Cajun Craze. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. Now, put this on. Now, I didn't want this to be really dark. I just wanted it to be a light color. I wanted it to be different than the pumpkin pie, though, so it looks like fall. So this one, I'm still mainly lining it up. This is the main reason you want to have this. With the other one, you're probably thinking, oh, you really didn't need that. You just need to make sure you have, because it colored in all the leaves. With this one, it's kind of hard to tell where it needs to go. So it does help a lot to look at this. And then I just look at this one to see if it looks decent. And that looks pretty good to me. Because you're going to notice some of these, there's even some white spaces here, but that is okay. That's where it's supposed to go. So I'm going to get a little bit of the Cajun Craze, but I'm doing it really, really light. So like I said, I didn't want to have a big contrast between those two colors. I just wanted this to be a little bit darker. I'm going to lift it up just a little bit. Not dark enough, so let's add a little bit more. You can always add more ink. You can't take it away. Okay, let's see. I bet this will get it pretty good. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. So now it just gives me a nice faint look. Let me get it closer. I've got it glued down. There we go. So you can see just the gradual shading. I just think that looks a little better rather than making it really, really dark. That's actually looks better than my original. Had a little darker than that. Okay, that is all colored in, ready to go. Get those blending brushes out of the way. Got to make room for my big die cutting machine here. Now to get this ready for die cutting, it's the base platform, the die plate, and a standard cutting plate. I'm going to grab the tree. I think that is, oh, and the birds. And it's so nice. Let me show you this real quick. I think I'm going to do it this way. Grab my dies. There is a die for the big tree. Oops. I will be using this one later. I don't want to lose that. That's the one that keeps popping off. That's the one that popped up on the floor a minute ago. And there are 2 birds. They figured we'd want to do more than 1 bird, so they gave us 2 dies so I can die cut both of those birds at the same time. Okay. Isn't that a neat technique, Monica? I love this. Yeah, I'm a sucker for these masks. Okay, so we've got 2 others that are flowers. This is the first one that's a non-flower. And it's just as much fun as the flowers. I love these trees. Okay. I'm going to put 2 pieces of tape there. These birds probably only need 1. So you just want to make sure the stamped image completely fills in the openings of the dies. I love how our dies do that because there's some dies, the image is smaller and you end up having a little white border around it. And this time all I have to do is just make sure the outline of the image is along the edges of the opening, if that makes sense. Hopefully that made sense. Now I'm going to put this on top. Hi, Marlene. Glad you could come back. Warm Iowa City. It's warm here, too. It got up to 90 degrees today. It's nuts. I love fall, so I'm ready for fall temperatures. Not super cold. 60s. I'm good with that. Low 70s. Low meaning 71, 72. Not really much higher than that. But this 90-degree weather, ugh. At least it's not humid. In Indiana, it is usually super humid. And we have not had any rain for, it's been a long time. It's been at least 2 weeks since we've had rain. So things are really dry, especially with these temperatures we're having. But it makes it so the hot weather is not as unbearable as it is in the summer. Okay, so trying to get myself situated here. So now we've got the pretty tree. I just love that. That just screams fall, doesn't it? And then we've got our 2 little birds. Oops, he turned over. I've got those already. So now I can start putting this card together. Yep, that's all I need to do. Get all my masks out of the way. Here's the card base. I'm going to take this piece. And like I said, my original, this was the side I used. I went back and forth. I'm going to do this one just so you can see what the other side looks like. So you can decide if you get the card kits or if you've already got the supplies and can make them with your own supplies, you can decide which side you like the best. If you've got this DSP pack, then you can use another completely different design. But I like the leaves being in the top left for this card. I'm going to line this up. Oh, this is a 1.5 by 5 1/4. Looks like I might have made a little bit too long. Yep. So I'm going to turn it over, grab my scissors. Paper snips, the official name. Oh, Marva, you need rain too? Yeah. The lawn is burned. Same here. We've got a lot of trees, so it's not as burned as some of our neighbors. But, well, I shouldn't say a lot of us have trees on this road, but our daughter's house that's not too far from here, her grass is pretty much burned up because they've got little trees over there. So there we go. So I've got that along the side. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the card base. My husband hasn't had to mow, so he's been kind of happy about that, but we need some rain. He's still got cantaloupe and pumpkins growing and has to water those, and some raspberry plants. He doesn't want to die, so he's been watering about every night. So we definitely need some rain so we can have a break from that. Oh, it's 65 in Maine, Diane, huh? Oh, I'm jealous. I bet it's beautiful up there. I have not been to Maine. I would love to go to Maine, though. It looks like a beautiful state, pictures I've seen. Okay, so there's this. I want to grab this piece here, put some adhesive on here. And this is going to go here on the right side. I'm kind of centering it up and down. I want it more on the right side, so that's about right. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to put it on with dimensionals. So I'll put one up here and down here in each corner. And this is kind of a big tree, so I'm going to put one there in the middle. And the trunk is a little bit too narrow for the full size. So what I'm going to do, the border along here is like a half of a dimensional. So I'm going to cut one of these off. Take it off, and then that will fit down here at the bottom. So that trunk is raised up too. And I'm going to do the birds. I could use mini dimensionals, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you how you can just use, because the mini dimensionals, just one in the center of each will be fine. But you can also use these half ones on the border, because I use every bit of my dimensionals. The pointed side, I want it close to where the head is at. I don't want any of it to show. You can see it barely fits, but that makes it to where that little corner goes up where the head is at, and you can't see it from the other side. So I'll do that here. Oh, 96 in Arizona. Eek. That's even worse than here. Crystal had 85 in Kentucky. Oh, the high today was 93, so you got hotter than us too. This has just been a crazy fall so far. And I guess it's not officially fall. I think that happened Sunday. I think we're still going to be in the upper 80s next week, but the week after is going to be low 70s as high. So that's going to feel more like fall. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope they've got that right. Okay, so we've got all the dimensionals on here that I need. I'm going to grab my, take your pick tool using that paper piercer. Scoop these up. That's the paper backings. And the tree is going to go right here. Make sure it's straight. That looks pretty good. Yep, that looks good. So I'm going to push that down. Then I'll take the paper backing off. I'll just do one one bird at a time. They're small enough to be little butterflies. Oh, Romaine, Pennsylvania was 82. That's not too bad. That's definitely still warm for fall, though. Okay. And then this one, you could have it go the exact same way. I'm kind of having it go like this a little bit. I kind of like them going different directions. So, the inside of the card, let's make sure to put that in. I was getting ready to say all I have to do is the bling, but the inside hasn't been put in yet. Well, there we go. Didn't quite get it in the corner there. Still not doing it. There we go. Now I got it. Put this right on the inside. Now I'm ready to put, I guess it's not technically bling because they're not real shiny, but here are the textured dots. So we've got the large ones and the small ones. I'm going to use 3 large ones this time. I'll just use these bottom 3. I'm going to put one right here. This time, a lot of times I'll do like little triangles in an odd number. Sometimes I'll do this. I'll just make a straight line of them, a little group of 3. Like so, try to space them about the same. There we go. So that is the first card. So these don't take that long to make at all. But there's that one. And like I said, I love doing using the masks. It's just a different way to color these in. Oh yeah, I want to show you my original. I actually remembered. So there are the 2 different looks. I'm going to bring a little closer. So this is the one with this is the one side and this is the other side. So you can use, I like both ways. I think they both look good. So that is card number 1. Grab card number 2. Let's see, Romaine said, you love this card. I did not think I needed this set, but you need it. Yes, you do. Like I said at the beginning, I think I said this at the beginning, I almost didn't get this one. I tried to talk myself out of it. Lynn, I think, yeah, Lynn, you were the one, said, don't tell me you're going to talk me into this set. She didn't think she needed it. Don't know if I'm talking her into it yet, but I love it. I'm so glad I got it. Okay, this in the packet, if you get the packet, this is a 10-inch piece of the pecan pie center stripe ribbon. It is in part of the online exclusives like the bundle. I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors here. You want to fold it in half if you get the kit. Then you have 2 5-inch pieces for both cards. So I just need one for this one. So put that to the side. And this one is a 14-inch one. We're going to do this one in half. So that way you have 2 7-inch ones. Oh, good. I did it to Crystal too. She goes, I did it again. She wants this bundle now. Okay, so now we've got 2 7-inch ones. So we just need one for this card. All right, so the ribbon is ready. The card base is Mossy Meadow, the regular 5.5 by 8.5 inches. Sometimes I forget to say inches, but that's what it is. Then I'll grab, if I do forget to say it again. Okay, so there's the card base. This one is going to be, I've heard people call it a tent fold. I didn't realize that's what it was called. I've been saying landscape card, but it's a tent fold, which makes sense because it looks like a tent. So you want your fold on the top. Now I'm going to grab, this one is really easy to do. I'll go ahead and start putting pieces together. This is a 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece of early espresso. This is a piece of that same paper, that Sweet Days of Autumn DSP. This one is, oh, look at the wrong sheet. 4.5 by 3 1/4. There's the other side. You can use whichever one, but I always want to go with more just the greens and browns on this one. Turn this over. Oops, get this going again. Oh, thanks, Deb and Marva. I'm glad you liked it. I think Marva, I might have said that to you already. I saw a name pop up and it was just Deb. I wasn't sure it was both of you. Okay, so I either miss your comment or comment to it twice. So I'll go ahead and put this in the center, the early espresso. Like so. There we go. And then I want to grab, of the 2 pieces ribbon, grab the longer one that's 7 inches. I'm going to grab some tear and tape. And you always want to get a longer piece than what the width of your ribbon is. So I usually do it a lot longer than I need just to be on the safe side. If it's just longer, sometimes it's still too short for each side. So that's why I make it a little extra longer than what that way you've got plenty of the adhesive over the ribbon. It's going to go right across near, oh, take that back. You know what? I don't want to do this yet. Put this to the side. I'm glad I looked up at my original. I still could have made it work. I need to get some stamping done. So we're not going to put this on just yet. So I'm going to put this over to the side. I still could have made it work if I had already put that on, but we're going to get some stamping done first. I need to grab this piece of crumb cake. This is a 3 3/4 by 2.5. I'm going to grab Old Olive ink. And I want this stamp and this evergreen stamp. This is the large tree. Well, yeah, you see that. So there, you got the small and large one. I am going to, oh, wait a minute. First, I want to stamp thank you. So I'm going to grab Early Espresso and my little thank you stamp. And this is just going to be stamped at the top right corner. There we go. Just a little easier to stamp that first. That way you know where you can put your trees. I'm going to do Old Olive. At one time I did the big tree in Old Olive and the small one in Mossy Meadow, and you couldn't really see much of a difference on the crumb cake. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the Old Olive for both of them. So get this on. And I'm going to stamp. I'm not going to worry about stamping too much over here. I'm going to go over probably a little farther than I need to, just to be on the safe side. And then I'll stamp another one down here underneath my thank you without re-inking. So I've got a faint tree, so it looks like there's a tree in the background. Then I'm going to take the small one. I'm going to do it here. And then I think I'll do another one right about there. I might even do a little darker one, just even smaller one right there. So that is all we need. We don't need to bother with over here because I'm going to be putting the big one over here. But that kind of makes it look like there's some trees in the background. And before I put this piece away, I'm going to grab, let's see here, I keep throwing my pecan pie out of the way. This one, and the blending brush. And I'm going to put some ink along the outside of this piece. So I'm going to put a little bit of, go here on the scrap paper first, and then go around. Because usually when I hit down, I end up getting too dark of a color. If I start here, then go over to here, then I have it, it's nice and smooth looking. I don't have a blotch. Just keep going around it a few times. It's just kind of gets it a little more rustic looking. There we go. And I'm leaving the center without any pecan pie, just so it has a little bit of a glow to it. So that is ready to go. Now I can put that on the card base. I'm going to go ahead and do that just so I don't have to go looking for this piece anymore. Actually, on this piece, I mean. So this, I don't know if I told you the size. This one is a 3 3/4 by 2.5. And this one will just go right, oops, there we go, in the center of that DSP. Oh, and DSP is designer series paper. I know I forgot to say that earlier. I always want to make sure everybody knows that. So this goes right in the center. This would make a pretty card. Just add another little tree over here and you'd be done with it. But we're going to have that nice die cut tree on there too. Now I'm going to grab that 7-inch piece again. Grab those 2 pieces of tear and tape that I got out. Okay. Now I'm going to wrap this around like so, making sure I've got, it doesn't have to be the exact same width hanging over, but just so they're both long enough that they're not going to pop off later. Turn this around, take this tear and tape and put it on here. I'm going to kind of go as close to the corner as I can. I don't want to make this side too short of the tear and tape, but that makes it so I don't have to put any adhesive here in the corner. Then I'll wrap this around, make sure it looks straight. I'm kind of looking at this bottom part right here. And put my tape here. Okay, now I'm going to take my, actually I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Let's put some adhesive, regular adhesive on here. I'll do it in each corner here, maybe a little bit here in the centers. Then I'm going to take my take your pick tool and I'm going to push the tear and tape down. I don't want to be picking up the adhesive. I just want to pick up the paper. So I'm going to go in between the ribbon and the end of the tear and tape. That makes it a lot easier to jiggle that paper backing off. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using a light touch and kind of jiggling. If you put too much pressure, then you end up picking up the adhesive too. And if you ever start doing it and you're picking up the adhesive, which I was afraid I was going to have to do that, just push it down again and then start from the other side. And the other side should pop up for you, no problem. Grab my card base, make sure that fold is on top. And I'm going to put this right in the middle. There we go. So this can go to the side for right now. I am going to grab this piece. There'll be 2 white pieces in. Again, make sure you get the smaller one. This one is 2 3/4 by 4. This is going to be what we stamp the tree on. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat again. I'm going to grab the large. I need to clean this off because I'm going to be using early espresso this time. I think it's time to clean this one off again. I made a bunch of Halloween projects. Speaking of Halloween, I got the last 3 Halloween projects made. I just need to get the videos done for my 12 weeks of fall and Halloween. So I will get those up and I'll be make sure I get all caught up. I'm a couple weeks behind and I want to get those all up. So you'll be seeing 3 really close together just so I could get all caught up. So I'm going to take my early espresso. Oh, Mary, you didn't think you needed it either? Okay. Yeah, this is one I think a lot of us said, oh, we really don't need it. And I am so glad I got it. It's just fun. I love, like I said, I love the masks. And I'm going to be using the stamp. Well, like this is the last one I'll be using the masks on. You could use the masks alone without using the stamps too. These just make them a little more detailed. So this is why I'm deciding to do both of them with the stamps. So I want to show you how to line it up with this too. So that was stamped with the early espresso. Now I can get this out of the way. I want to take that off. And I can't believe it. I thought I would need an alcohol swab to get that off because that was a Sharpie pen. But this chamois that comes with the glass mat will take it off of there with just water. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, now I'm going to grab my seal again. Oh, there it is. do just like I did before. I'm going to put some seal on here. I'm going to line it up here just so it's a little straight. Honestly, this part doesn't have to happen, but I do like it straight. I think it makes it a little bit easier. Now I'm going to grab the other 3 that are marked A, B, C. I'm going to start with the A, and I'm only going to do the large one. They've got these far enough away you don't have to worry about getting ink over here in the wrong place. Oh yeah, Deb, I'm with you. That's why I got this one. The masks, I'm like, okay, I can't miss out on the mask again. I love the masks. Before I get this lined up, get my Sharpie pen ready because I didn't do that last time. It kind of made it a little harder. Let's see. Oh, I know, Romaine. That happens to me too. When I see somebody use it and fall in love with what they made, it's like, oh, I got to get it. It happens to me too. I love it when I do it to have somebody else love it from something I made, but it happens to me all the time. I'll see a demo make something that's like, oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so I've got this on there. The little triangle is actually over here this time. I'm going to take my Sharpie marker and do that. I'm going to grab, this time I'm going to grab Old Olive. Here's my, get this lined up again. I knew it'd move on me when I went to get the ink pad. Okay, that looks good. Pick up some Old Olive. Now I'm going to do a light layer of the Old Olive this time. I don't want it to be too dark. I don't want it too light either, but because I'm going to be putting another layer of the Old Olive on here too. So I'm going to lift it up a little bit. That looks good. So there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? That just colored in so quick. Oh, Crystal, you didn't realize I had masks. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell. Okay, now I'm going to get B. I'm still going to use Old Olive. Make sure I've got that lined up and then look up here and see if this looks like it's lining up pretty good. Now with this one, I didn't realize this until I used it yesterday. I don't know if you can tell, the openings are actually underneath the branches on the pine tree, and you're going to see why here in just a minute. So it looks like they're under them pretty good, plus it's lined up here. Now this time I'm going to use a little more pressure to make that Old Olive darker. And I think this one is my favorite mask of the 3 for the evergreen or the pine trees. I usually call them pine trees. I don't know why I've been calling them evergreens. There we go. So I've got that darker. I'll lift this up and see it puts shadow underneath it. Isn't that cool? Hopefully you can see. I'll bring it up closer here in a minute. I don't want to lift it up yet because I've got it right where I need it. Yes, Cindy, definitely. We all get FOMO at least once in our lives. Crafters get it all the time. I agree. Oh, yeah. Michelle, this could make great Christmas cards, and I plan to make some. Since I only do 3 cards for the live, I couldn't make one this time, but you just keep watching. I'll be making one. Okay, so I'm done with the Old Olive for right now. I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to get some ink here. Just have it ready. This one is C. Make sure I picked up the right one. Once again, get this lined up. Now this is the one, if I wanted to make that Christmas tree and put snow on it, I could use Versamark ink, put it in there and emboss it with white. I could use our embossing paste. But since I didn't want to go with a winter card this time, I'm going to just use a darker green. So I'm still looking at this. I'm also looking probably more at this top little point right here because those should line up a little bit. Because as you can see, there is some white showing in some of the spaces. So that's another reason with these evergreen ones or pine trees, you definitely want to have that guide. And you don't have to, you can use a light touch with this because this green is a lot darker than, I think I might have made the top a little bit too dark, but I think we're going to be okay. Oh, that looks all right. But if you don't want that green to be that dark, you can definitely use a lighter touch. Or you can even just use Old Olive and do it hard again, and that would make it darker than the rest of the tree. There we go. Kind of made that a little darker than I wanted to, but I still like it. It'll start to lighten up after it dries a little bit too. But there is that tree. That is done. I think I am all done Oh, no, wait a minute. I need to stamp the inside, don't I? Okay, here is the inside of the card. The regular 5 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to do this with Old Olive. Oh, I need to clean that. That's right. I do not want to put early espresso ink in my Old Olive pad. It wouldn't look right. Oh, thanks, Diane. I'm glad you like it. Oh, now you really need it, Crystal. Good. Oh, thanks, Marie. Oh, thanks, Romaine. It really is neat, isn't it? Like I said, I just love the masks. Okay, now make sure, because this is what you've seen me do it, those of you that have watched before, I'll forget I'm doing a tent fold and stamp it like this. Make sure you've got your paper like this, so the 5 1/4 inch is on the top and bottom. I'm going to ink this up with my Old Olive. I'm just going to put part of this tree on here, so I want to have plenty of room to be able to write some stuff on here. But I'm also going to grab the little one. This one was already done with Old Olive, so I don't need to clean it. Have these overlap. And that's for the inside of my card. And get this over here. And see, did I fold the card? I think I did. Where did I put the card? Oh, there it is. I'm going to put this in so I don't almost forget like I did last time. I did remember, but I almost forgot. So put this on the inside, and then I'm going to die cut that tree. And this one will be done except for putting those textured dots on. We need to get those on. Or I need to get those on. If you're making the card with me, we. Put this here in the center. Okay. Now I'm going to grab this again. Make some room here. There we go. Put this down. I'm going to grab with the dies. I need this one here. As you can see, there are detailed ones. I think I showed you this already, but the detailed ones for the evergreens, so you can do them that way. There's this neat one here I wasn't able to use. I can't wait to use that. That'll make some neat trees. But you'll see me make a tree with the other tree dies in there. So once again, get that image in. Fill in that open area completely. Use my Post-it tape. Put this on top. Yeah, Patty, the masks do give a lot of detail. That's what makes them so cool. Okay, that is all the die cutting for this card. Oh, good, Cindy. I'm glad you're really liking them. Oh, hi, Robin. You're fine. Glad you could make it. I showed off your card earlier. I just had to. It was pretty. Okay. So I've got this. Looks like it moved a little bit. Well, that looks fine. Two, when you do the masks, if you have them not quite lined up, it might be a little bigger than the opening of the die, which is what I ended up doing, but it still looks fine. I'm happy with that. So put this to the side. Try to get situated here. Okay, bring the card face back in. I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. Oh, there they are. It's like, I know they're here. I just had them. Put one in the top corner, one on each, one down here. I always do the outer first, and then I do believe we need a middle one too. I figured we would. There we go. Sometimes I think I need a middle one, but then when I put the outer ones on, I'm like, oh no, that's fine. But this time I definitely could tell I needed one. Now this one is going to go here. I'm okay with this going over the early espresso just a little bit, but I don't want it to go past the card base. And I'm just laying it down. I am not putting it down permanently yet. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. There we go. That looks good. Push that down. The last thing is putting these on. And this time I used 3 large ones. This time I'm going to use 3 small ones. So I'm going to put one about here. These I'm spreading out a little bit rather than putting them in a line like the first card. And that one there. So there is card number 2. So I hope you like that one. That one went really fast. Now the next one, I've used this technique before. So some of you that have watched my videos before, you've seen me do this. Oh, there we go. I want to make sure I had my cards together so I can show them all to you again at the end. This one is mainly very vanilla. I am using a basic white. I'll explain that here in a minute. I almost used all very vanilla except for this, of course. But the only thing I need to stamp is this. So I'll go ahead and get the stamping done first. I'm going to grab this again. This piece of very vanilla is 2 3/4 inches by 1/2 inch. I'm grabbing the one that says, thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. I'm going to take pecan pie. Oh, thanks, Christy. I'm glad you like it. Thanks, Romaine. So that's pecan pie. With these being clear, that's the only way I can use a 1/2 inch width because I can see right where I'm putting it. The rubber ones would make this one a little harder because it just fits. I tried 3/4 of an inch and it was just too fat for the card I was making. And I actually had that a little too high. So I'm going to use the other side. I love having 2 sides to cardstock. Oops, I guess it can be upside down. Doesn't matter because I can fix that after it's stamped. Bring it down just a little bit and we'll see which one I like better. Oh, that's much better. That got it in the center a little more. So yeah, that's the side I'm going to use. So that is stamped. Need to do the inside, but first I need to fold the card base. This is very vanilla, 5.5 by 8.5. Like I said earlier, when I was thinking of this card, I'm just using regular very vanilla because we don't have the thick anymore. So this is a little thinner than the card bases I've been making. The very vanilla is a little thinner, but it's still good for a card base. So put that. No, I'm not going to put it to the side yet because I want to stamp this. So I do need to clean that because it was done with early espresso earlier. Because this time I'm going to use pecan pie. Out of the way. Ink this up. Better grab this again since I'm stamping again. The reason I want to have this for photopolymer is because there's no cushioning on this stamp, and you really need that cushioning base at the bottom for it to stamp better. I'm going to do a partial. I do want to see the whole trunk. So the trunk is near the edge. There we go. So that's the inside of the card. I do that a lot with big stamps. I'll just do a partial of it. So that way I still have plenty of room to write on the inside. So that is all the stamping. Oh, wait a minute. But I need to do some inking first. This is a piece of basic white. It's 2 3/4 by 3. The reason I'm using white rather than vanilla like the rest of the card, I'm going to cover this up with ink. If I did the ink on the vanilla, it would still look pretty, but it would be a little more muted. The white will make the colors a little brighter, and that's what I'm going for. So I'm going to grab pumpkin pie and a blending brush. Make sure I'm getting the right colors here. Cajun Craze and a blending brush and Old Olive. Put this over the side because I know it's going to get in the way. I don't want to get ink on any of these, so get these out of the way quick. I'm going to start off with pumpkin pie. Let me find my brush. I think this is it. Yeah, there we go. Now this time I'm okay with blotches on here. I'm not going to worry about stamping over here first. Let me clean this off while this is still wet. There we go. Now I'm going to take some pumpkin pie and just kind of make some little blotches. And I do want them a little darker. If you do smooth, then the colors aren't as vibrant when you go to die cut later. And it actually just looks better doing it this way. So I've got a little bit of pumpkin pie there. I know it doesn't look real pretty, but it's going to look gorgeous when we die cut it. Now I'm going to take Cajun Craze and put a few on here. That might be, and I might darken them up a little bit more though. I'm okay with some areas of it being lighter. I'm going to take my Old Olive Get some of Old Olive in here. And it's okay if the colors intersect a little bit. You don't want them to do it too much. But I'm really more tapping because I want that really dark color to it and kind of smoothing it out a little bit as I go. And then I can go back, do a little bit more Cajun Craze right here because I don't want any white space. I just want color. I think I need a little more pumpkin pie up here. And maybe a little Cajun. Well, no, actually, I think I want a little more pumpkin pie. Well, no, Cajun Craze. I just saw the pumpkin pie up there. There we go. So that looks pretty good. Get all of these closed up. Got my blending brushes out of the way and get this cleaned off. Oh, Vicki, you haven't used the stencils yet. You're going to love it. They are really a lot of fun. How come there are no very vanilla envelopes anymore? You know what, Mary? I am not sure. I miss them. Hopefully they come back someday. But my only guess is either the supplier couldn't make them anymore, which I doubt it's that. It could be just people weren't buying them. Most people are buying the white. I have to admit, I use the white the most too. And the white still looks good even if your card has very vanilla. Nobody's going to care because a lot of times when you go to the store, they're going to be white too. But that's my only guess is the very vanilla weren't selling very well. That's usually what the deal is. But who knows? Sometimes they bring things back, so they might come back. Okay, so I'm going to put this here like so. Get this ready for die cutting like I did before. Oops, almost forgot. Need that standard cutting plate there. Bring this in. I'm also going to bring in a piece of early espresso. Where did I put that? There it is. This is a 2 by 4 inch piece. And go ahead and die cut these at the same time. I'm not going to need tape this time because I just need to make sure they stay on the cardstock. So there's the one for the trunk for the tree. So I'm going to put that early espresso. And then this one is going to be for my leaves for my tree. Standard cutting plate on top. I'm going to push this out a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to hold this down with this hand for right now because I don't want the die to move. I'm going to hold it over here because I'm going to have it go through again. I want to make sure that this thing die cuts really well. And a lot of times when it's got little bitty pieces, I only went through it those 2 times for my original and all the pieces came out just fine, but I had to poke out a bunch. Sometimes when you do it a few more times, they fall out even more. There we go. That should be plenty. I'll go through it more than I think I need to because it's a lot easier than when you do it and you're like, oh, it needs to go through again and try to line everything back up again. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So we've got these little holes here. If it doesn't come out perfectly, just poke it out with your take your pick tool. And there's that one. And then I've got this one. Get this out of the way. Now, while it's still in the die, there we go. You see it's got little pieces in it. Some of them are sticking in here. I'm going to take, I've got another take your pick tool. I put this tip on it, the brush. And then get something situated here. This is my, making a mess over here. My trash dish. Oops, I don't want my dies in there. Sometimes when I get going, I start putting them in the wrong thing. But while it's still in here, I'm going to see if how many I can get out with the brush. So I'm kind of holding it too. We also have, I might grab it to see if that helps. So I can tell I'm only getting a few of these out. But it's definitely getting a lot of them out. Maybe not this one down here. I took out a few more. There's something else I can use. Let me see if I can get a hold of it. This also comes with this tip. This tip is separate from the take your pick tool. And you can also do it in here, and that kind of pushes, you can push it down into the foam. Oh, look at that. That got even more to come out. Sometimes I don't think the foam works as well, but this one, it is working great with the foam. I'm glad I tried it. Okay. I can tell there's still some in there. Might poke a few out while it's still in the die, but it's probably going to be easier just to take it out now. I got the vast majority of those out. That's good because there are a ton. Oh yeah, this was a lot better. My first one, I was poking out most of them. But like I said, they were die cut. And one thing I need to try, and I didn't have time to try, I didn't want to try it here for the first time in the video. Someone told me if you use, if you've got those bubble mailers or bubble envelopes, you can put those in the sandwich and all these little pieces go in the bubble thing. So I bet even like if you get a package that has the bubble wrap in it, you could probably, I bet that works too, just as good. But I will have to try that. And if it works for me, I will show it to you. I just didn't want to try it for the first time in the video. And I almost did this ahead of time, but I wanted to show you exactly how to do all that coloring. Now it looks like this side, I didn't get it to die cut very well. I don't know why. It was perfect last night when I did, or yesterday when I did it. Well, this is going to make it so I can show you how to line it up again. Sometimes it's good when things don't work out, so I can show you how to fix it. So go ahead and get this to the side, and you bring that die cutting machine back in again. Running out of room. Okay, let's get this back in here. Grab the die. Hopefully that'll, there, you just really push it down so it locks back into place. If you just lay it, it's going to move on you. But I've got it in there again. Since I want to keep this as my cutting plate, I'm going to swap around here. Let me find my, oh yeah, I put it underneath here. Here's the one I'm not cutting. I'm going to swap the sides. That one's going to be there because I want this to be upside down so the paper's on top. Once again, I'm pushing it down to make sure it's locked in there, and it is. Sometimes you just need to put it through this way and the rest of them fall out again. Don't ask me why, but this works. Might do it just one more time. I probably don't need to do it that many. But now they're going to come out with absolutely no trouble. But make sure when you do that, that you do push this in so it locks in. I can tell they're cut perfectly now. I might even be able to get them out with the brush. Oh yeah. Much easier. Okay, now I'm going to have to poke this out because I pushed it in so good. It doesn't want to come out. There we go. Oh yeah, that took all of them out. Perfect. So that's how you can, if that ever happens to you, that's how you fix it. So every once in a while, I don't mind it when things don't work exactly the way I think they're going to. That way I can show you how to fix it. Okay. Let's get these out of the way. Isn't this pretty? And that's why I want to, and the colors look a lot lighter now, don't they? That's why I want to make sure I made it really dark on the paper to begin with. Oh, Romaine said I should try it with the pad envelopes. I will definitely try it. Now I can't wait. I'm glad to hear somebody else said it works too. Oh, Mary, you say you use them a lot too? Oh, and some beige ones at Hobby Lobby. Okay. Oh, you guys are talking about the envelopes now. Those, okay, yeah. Christy, you're talking about the envelopes. And Mary, you say you get some from Hobby Lobby. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. Christy was saying, when I looked at the leaf dies, when I first received my set, I was trying to figure out why there were bubbles for the tree set. Oh, they do look like bubbles, don't they? I didn't think about that. They could definitely pass as bubbles, definitely. Yeah, and wax or parchment paper work too. The last time I tried that, Crystal, for some reason, it actually put a film on my cardstock. So I think, because I used to do that all the time, and it's been so long ago, I think I might have been doing it wrong because I was getting a waxy thing to my paper, which I didn't like. So I need to play around with that too. I just never seem to have time to experiment with things anymore. Now this could also, I could have with that, let's see, it came out of a 2 3/4 by 3 inch piece of basic white. I could have also cut out a 2 3/4 by 3 inch piece of the adhesive sheets, take the paper backing off of one side of the adhesive sheet, put it on the bottom of the white cardstock, then put the die on. Then we make this into a sticker. But I wanted to show you how to just do it with glue too. So let me grab my card base. Oh, I've got some inking to do on this one. This was die cut. I'm making a little mess here. Let me get this over here. I looked over and saw my little foam piece and had all these little pieces. I thought I better throw those away quick. Okay. Let me find that folder. I want you to see it because it's one of our large folders. This is that birch wood. It's hard to tell in the thing, but this is really big. This is one of our 6x6 ones, so that shows you how much longer it is. And then this is even bigger. We've got one that's more like this size too. And ones are half of that. So we've got 4 different sizes embossing folders. But this is the big, large one. And what I did, I just put it in here. I kind of wanted this knot look right here. And it's up here. So you just pick where you want it to go and run it through your Big Shot. And I'm not Big Shot. My goodness, I shouldn't have said that. We don't have that anymore. The reason we don't is because they don't like us talking about that brand. Hopefully I won't get in trouble for saying that. Okay. So not from Stampin' Up, but from Sizzix. Okay. So I've got the base platform here, and this goes here. And you know what? I need to grab this. This is the specialty plate that comes with the machine also. All these plates come with our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, then run it through. So that's how the 3D folders is just a base platform, the cardstock inside the folder, and this. Oh, and the fold needs to go in first. But I have all that die cut for you. I just want it because I know I've got some new people to crafting tonight. So I'll make sure you knew how that worked. Okay, now that it's embossed, I didn't want it to just have the vanilla, even though that looks nice, just doing it that way. I'm going to take my pecan pie ink and spread it all over. I'm going to work off and then come on. Mainly doing it around the edges, kind of going more in. It doesn't matter if you don't get it covered in the center because this is going to be covered up anyway. At first, I was just going to do it on the edges, but then I liked it better doing it all over. Now, yes, I could have used pecan pie, but that gives cardstock, but this gives it different tones. I didn't want to just look plain pumpkin pie. Clean this ink off that I got on here. Then I'm going to dry that off. Let me get this off because I'm all done with ink pads tonight. Get this to dry off just a little bit. Turn this over and put some adhesive on it. This one I wanted the colors in the leaves to pop more. That's where I wanted most of my color for this card. But I still thought this needed a little something, and I kind of like the knot at the top. I'm going to put this right here in the center. And now this piece, table back over here, this one was done out of a 3 by 4.5 inch piece of Very Vanilla. And it'll be die cut for you. I used the Countryside Corners dies. These are from the annual catalog. And I used the 3rd largest. So there's the largest, 2nd largest, 3rd largest. Is this one right here. And that's how I die cut that. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the center of my card base. It does give it depth, doesn't it? Yeah, doing that ink on there, it brings out the embossing even better. I really like it a lot. So this is going to go in the center. Now you can see that vanilla is popping a lot more too. Okay, there we go. Put that right in the center. I'm going to grab my silicone mat. Oh, there it is. I'm going to grab the trunk. Here, I want the smooth side to face down because I'm going to put glue on the back. Because there is a wrong and a right side to this. You'll notice that if you ever use the die cutting. The die, I mean. I'm going to grab my multi-purpose glue. And I am only going to put dots in a few places rather than lines. I'm finding out I think dots work better. I'm just kind of dotting it all over. That way, too, I've got a little more control on how much I'm putting on. So I'm mainly tapping it. I'm not really even squeezing. Tapping it is kind of bringing some of the glue out. I'm not even squeezing the bottle. So let me put a little bit right here. I didn't put anything there. So that, I know that doesn't look like much, but that should be plenty of glue. Turn this over. And I'm going to have the trunk hang over the edge of this just a little bit, not much at all. I'm going to kind of hold onto this I want to make sure that chunk is in the center down here. And then kind of tap this to where it looks straight to me. Then I'll start pushing it down. With our glue, you need to make sure, any glue actually, you need to use pressure and press it down, hold it for a few seconds. That's the only way that glue is going to take hold. If you don't put that pressure in, it's just going to fall off again for you. Now it's on there really good. I'm going to do the same thing with this. You could also make a little glob of glue here, take a sponge dauber and put some all over it too. But I didn't think to grab my sponge dauber with the glue on it, and I don't want to, because you'll have to, if you do that, you'll have to use that sponge dauber with glue all the time. You don't want to use ink on it anymore. So I'm just going to, in the big areas, because there are a few bigger areas, the real thin areas, I'm not going to worry about putting glue. So I'm just putting a little dot in some of the larger areas, like so. Like I said, I definitely could have used the adhesive sheets. Okay, that's probably plenty. And there are bunches here that kind of line up with the branches just a little bit, not perfectly. I'm just going to make sure that each one has a little bunch with it. There's this little opening too. This little part will be on the trunk though. That looks pretty good. I'm going to push it down again, put that pressure on there. Oh, Christy, you've got to try that birchwood folder. I have used it so many times. I love it. Okay, there we go. So there's our tree. And now the last thing I need to put on with cardstock wise is the greeting. This is going to be with dimensionals. I want to make sure I use the side I want. And that was a good side. This one I can tell is too close to the edge. So that was my boo-boo side. Put one on each end. I think that is a little too much of a gap, so I'm going to go ahead and put one here in the middle. I always push them down because I found if I don't put pressure on these, sometimes they'll pop up when I start to take my paper backings off. Oh, I want to put this glue away before it starts dripping out. Don't need a mess right here at the end of the video. Those are scooped off. And this is going to go, oops, I almost always put it on upside down. I'm kind of, see where these little corners are right here? I'm kind of, you don't have to, but that's kind of where I'm lining it up. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to push it down. Now I need to put some of this bling on. This time I'm going to do 2 each size of the textured dots. I'm going to grab a big one. You know what? I need more putty on here. Get a little bit out. Always have to wait a few seconds because it keeps coming out after you've twisted it. Need a little bit more. There we go. Sometimes I'll do it too fast, so I end up having too much come out. You don't want a ton to come out. So I'm going to put it right here, the big one, and grab a small one and put it right next to it. Then I'm going to grab a big one and put it right about here. And then a small one. Sometimes I just don't know where to put these. So if you want to put them in a different places, go right ahead. Okay, I'm looking at some of your comments. So that is the 3rd card already. All done with the class. But I had so much fun making these trees. Oh yeah, the textured dots are wonderful, Karen. I love them too. I'm glad you like the card too. Oh yeah, Crystal, you like the folder too. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I think they came out nice. Oh, good. I'm glad you like them. And all the tips remain. I'm glad I could help. Let's see, that looks great. Yeah, this is an online set. I'll show you the whole thing again. Oops. Now, all the dies aren't on here anymore since I was using them. But with the bundle, you get this Frosted Forest. So you get the stamp set, the dies, and I kind of threw the masks everywhere. Oh, where did I put? I thought I had some close by. But then all the masks also, the decorative masks come with it too. So stencils you saw me using. So that's the whole bundle. The bundle is $64.75. That's for the stamp set, the dies, and the masks. So it's a really good deal. But that is part of the online exclusives. But what you can do, if you click my online store link, just put that in the search engine, just type it for Frosted Forest, and it'll pop up for you. Okay, so let me bring all the cards back. Look at some of your comments here. I'll sit down because I can see your comments a little better. Okay, kind of move things around here. Oh, thanks, Robin. Yeah, I really like this one. I think might be my favorite. I'll go ahead and show these two here because those are the ones where I use the two different sides so you can decide which one you like better. Oops. And there's that. So you'll actually have two of each design if you get the card kits, these right here. And this is just the one that shows you with this side instead of this one. So there, I'll kind of do it that way. So I hope you enjoyed the class. And I think I've talked some of you into getting this bundle. But yeah, this was just 3 different trees you can do. Like I said, there's with this being a detail for a regular tree, you can also do the details with the evergreens. You can use just the masks and not the stamps to make the trees. There's just a lot of different things you can do with this. So let me, like I said, I haven't seen all your comments. Oops. I just put my cursor on something. That was weird. Something pop up on my screen. Good, Michelle. I'm glad you like them, Michelle. Thanks, Mary Catherine. Oh, thanks, Christy. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you said another nice Thursday night. I'm glad you liked that. I was really looking forward to doing these with you guys tonight, especially since I didn't get to do a live last week. Being able to talk to you guys. Oh, thanks, Robin. Thanks, Myra, Michelle. Yeah, there are so many uses for this set, Michelle. You're right. Oh, thanks, Anita and Melissa and Crystal. I'm kind of looking backwards on because I knew I missed some of you. Oh, thanks, Cindy. Glad you liked them, and Sharon too. Both of your comments popped up at the same time. Okay, so I will go. First off, I always almost do it in the wrong order. We're going to do the hashtag door price thing really quick, and then I'll talk to you about the class because I know some of you came on late. Oh, wait a minute. I had something show up weird again. Okay. If you use, that's not the one I want. Okay. If you live in the United States and want to be part of my door prize drawing, do hashtag door prize. Now, if you've already done it through this video, you are in the drawing. Don't worry about it. But if you didn't do this yet, you'll want to do it before I start the door prize drawing. You need to type it in just like you see it there on the screen. Hashtag door prize, all small letters, no space, and you'll get put in the drawing for these. These are the Adhesive-Backed Textured Dots. There are also some pecan pie ones that are hiding up here. I just don't want to open this up since I'm going to give a brand new pack away to somebody. Let's see, a couple of you, Sharon, you got yours up. So you've got a couple minutes. There's always a delay. So I want to make sure, I always want to bring this up. That way you've got time because now I'm going to tell you about the class. So do the hashtag door prize while I'm talking about this if you haven't already. But if you'd like to get the card kits to make these, now I will bring this one up. Oh, I can't get a hold of them. There we go. If you place a $40 order using that host code you see there in the ticker, you will get, and that's before shipping and tax, you will get the card kits to make 2 each of these 3 cards. You will also get, if you bump it up to $50 order before shipping and tax with the host code, you will also get the full pack of the Adhesive-Backed Textured Dots. Now, if your order is $150 or more before shipping and tax, do not use the host code. That way you will still get my card kits and the embellishments, and you'll also get Stampin' Awards from Stampin' Up. But if it's an order under $150, you have to use the host code in order to get these because I need the host code to be able to get the free stuff for you. So $40 order with the host code gets you the card packs, the card kits to make 2 of each. $50, you get the embellishments added on for free. Okay. I think that is it. Let's see if I'm seeing any more hashtag door price. Oh, thanks, Mary Pat. Oh, hi, Mary Pat. Didn't realize you were on. Glad you like them. Thanks, Marlene. Thanks, Karen. The green card could definitely be a Christmas card. Oh, and you're from New Zealand. I'm glad you're here. So good morning to you. We're winding up our day here. But yeah, this one could definitely be a great Christmas tree for sure. I agree. Okay. Oh, thanks, Paula. Glad you liked it. Okay. I think everybody's done with the hashtag door prize. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up the host code that we can write it down. But if after the video you're like, oh, I forgot the host code and I want to get these free card kits and the embellishments, just click on in YouTube, just look down the video description, click on the card class at home link there, If you're watching on Facebook, click the Learn More button and then click the one that says Get Free Stuff When You Order From Me. Now, if you click on either one of those links, if you're watching this later, after September 25th, 2024, then you'll see what I'm currently giving away free with orders. But that's where you can get the host code. Okay, that is, oh, hi, Cookie. Hope you can watch the replay later, but I'm glad you got to come in here on the end. Give you a quick chance. I'll wait a couple seconds. If you want to be in on the door prize, because I do believe you're in the US, you'll want to do the hashtag door prize. You want to type it in just like you're seeing there on the screen. Hashtag door prize, no space, all small letters. I'll wait a couple seconds because I know there's a delay. So I want you to be able to get in on the drawing too. So I'm going to do that here in just a minute. That is if you want to be in on the drawing. If you don't want to, then don't worry about it. You don't have to. I'll give a few more seconds. Going to make sure you get that in if you're wanting to. So, anybody have any questions? I think I caught all the questions. If I missed any of your questions throughout the video, I promise I will look at the comments today or Saturday and answer any of them in the comments. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get going here. I'm going to get the raffle up. Oh, and Cookie got it in. Good. All right. Oop, I forgot to get this ready. It only takes a second, though. There we go. Okay, so 1, 2. Oh, nope, you did fine. You're good. Hashtag, you got, oh, no, you got the O. Okay, hold on just a second. Oh, good, Marie. I'm glad we waited a minute. You were able to get it in. Oh, now I see what Cookie, you got it in. Good. We're good. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, go. Congratulations, Jeanne. It's been a while since you've won. I've got your address, so don't worry about giving it to me. Let me grab my Post-it notes here. Oh, and I need to get those back out again. Those are for the swirl dots. So congratulations, but don't worry. Those of you that have already done the hashtag door prize, you still have a chance. Oh, I keep forgetting to take that off the screen. It doesn't go away on its own. There we go. So don't worry if you didn't win this time. You've got another chance, and I will do the drawing for this one in the next live. So it'll be next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. These are the Faceted Gems Trio Pack. So everybody did the hashtag door prize here tonight during the live will get in on the drawing. And everybody that lives in the United States that watches the replay that wants to get a chance to win this, that does hashtag door prize, will also get in the drawing. They'll announce that winner next week. Okay. I think we are done. Ooh, I always think I get that back where it needs to be, and it's not. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed it. See a bunch of congratulations. Let's see. Oh, you're going to come back and watch the replay. That's fine, Cookie. I love the replays. Oh, you're welcome. Jan says yippee. I'm glad you won, Jan. You are welcome. And, oh yeah, put this to the side. For a minute, I thought I forgot to put your name on it, but that's next week's prize. So I'm glad. I was so glad to be able to come back again next week. I missed you guys last week. So I will be back with another class next Thursday. But this one, if you want to get the door, we're done with the door prizes. If you want to get the card kits and the embellishments, you can see the ticker, plus click on the card class at home link to find out more if you didn't hear earlier. Or you can watch the replay and I tell you earlier in the video too how to get the card kits. But you've got until next Wednesday, which is September 25th. That's one thing I did forget to say earlier. That's when this class ends because the new class starts next Thursday. So you have until the end of the day, your time zone, so midnight, your time zone, to get your order placed using that host code that you should see there on the screen. So I will see you guys next week. Take care of yourselves. Stay cool for those of you that are in hot states like I am. Those of you that are in fall weather, enjoy it. I'm ready for it. Oh, I saw a couple more I didn't see here a minute ago. Oh, some more congratulations. Oh, you're welcome, Christy. Glad you got to come. Have fun with those grandkids if they're still there. They're probably home by now. They're probably ready to go to bed. Thanks, Christy. Yeah, you have a good week too, Crystal. You're welcome, Patty. Glad you got to come. Thanks, Jamie. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.